And this is Kelly Carroll with Hairology with Kelly Carroll. How great is that? Okay, so today we're going to be learning a pivot sectioned haircut. What it's basically going to do is give you some long layers through the sides. It's going to give an off-center asymmetrical bang, and then it's just a lot of flips and turns, and it's great for people with naturally curly hair. It's also great for people with thick hair that might need a razor cut or some texturizing in their haircut, because this whole haircut is basically done by point cutting. And point cutting, for those of you that need to be familiar with that term, or you're just starting out or you're just learning, point cutting is actually elevating the hair, and you're going in with your shears at the tips, and you're doing your haircut. Instead of making a blunt cut, which produces weight, you're going in with the tips of your shears and you're lessening the weight and creating some texture and movement. So we're going to start out with our first parting is going to be off center by the pupil. And I like to go straight back all the way to the nape with that parting. And once we have that parting, that sets the tone for the rest of the pivots. So once that parting is made, then here on the side, I'm going to locate her ear and go right in behind that with a radial parting. And I'm going to clip that to the side. The next section is right behind that. So I'm going to go from the top, go down at a diagonal, and that will create a triangle section. And I'm going to clip that apart. The next section, I'm going across the back, and this is the heaviest part of the haircut, so I'm going to be doing a lot of texturizing through there. I'm going to use my point, come straight down on a diagonal, and clip that section. Moving around the head, I'm to the side. So I'm going to use my pivot at the top, right here. I'm going to come towards the front at a diagonal. Which gives me this section to point off. And then that leaves you your front bang area. No questions asked. So that should be like that. And then again, you will clip that off. So basically this haircut is done very quick, very simple, and you are going to have 5 partings. Everything based off of triangles, of course. Okay, so where am I going to start this haircut? I'm going to start this haircut in the heaviest part, which is the second part right behind your bang area. Okay, so if we're looking at her from the front, we're going to start right behind the bang section. And I'm going to vertically, here's my partings, I'm going to vertically slice, keeping my sections low. I do not want to remove any of her length, so I'm letting my length drop as such, and I will be point cutting this at a 90 degree. Holding that out is a 90, and I'm point cutting. Pivot section, which is at a diagonal, pull it out, let the length drop, point cut, 90 degree. This last section, pull it out, let your length drop, and point cut at a 90 degree. Okay, there's that section. Moving around, now we are to the back, same thing, but we are going to elevate this a little differently. So we have the section behind our point cut 90 section. We're going to bring this up a little bit because we want it to be a little bit shorter texture in the back. So look at all the length dropping. So I'm between a 180 and a 90, and I point cut. Pivot section, grab from the previous section, pull straight out, let your length drop, and I'm going to point cut into that section. Your last section, pull straight out, and you're going to point cut into that section. So there's your heaviest part of your haircut. That is finished, and that's going to produce just a little bit of texture at the bottom. Moving around the head, we have this section. We're going to divide this in two. This section, we're going to go back and go straight out. Drop the length, 90 degree. And then take your other part that's in front of that, connect it, drop the length, pull this straight out, and a 90 degree. Now we have to do the front. And the front is our easiest part to do. It's going to dictate the length that you're going to have as a bang. So when you release this, you're combing all the bang forward. You're pulling that flat towards you at a 0 elevation. And the 0 elevation needs to come all the way over to the pupil of the eye. Come to right here. If you're pulling it that far, you're leaving a little bit of length on the sides, and distance makes length. So we are going to be holding our shears straight, turn them down, insert them at the width of the shear so that you are right there by the pivot, and you're going to slightly close and release the hair at the same time. So you are slide cutting. Now I'm going to pick that up and I'm going to follow that section that I just did. That's my guide. Pulling it over, I'm starting in again, and I'm going to slide and release. And that's as much as I want done of that section. Now, our last section, I need to pull this straight up, which would be like a 180. And I'm going to take the bang area that was there that I created, that short length in the front. This is our guide. I'm pulling it back. And I'm going to point cut in at a 90. Raise it up. There's my guide. He's right there. Straight up. Point cut. Next section, straight up and point cut. And the same. So now you've created this nice dimensional textured look with as little as 5 pivot sections, and we can give her some texture. So we will style this right up with a round brush, and we'll be right back at you.